Imagine what it's like for a baby at the moment of its birth, the total and utter disorientation as it moves from one existence to another, from a known world to an unknown world. And that is what's currently happening to you, to all of us. We're going through the equivalent of being reborn. We're leaving one existence and reinventing ourselves and deciding what matters to us. And you have to ask the question as, will we find a new path? Will we be successful? Will we survive? Will you thrive? The energy waves I share each month and at the start of the year are kind of here to guide you through this time, to help you, to allow you to understand what's happening and the choices you're being asked to make. I gave up my practice with a 2-year waiting list to work with me and a secure income to share this content and support you with this. My name is Nicholas Haines. I'm at the Five Institute, and this is the energy waves for October 2023 and beyond. Now, there are 3 themes this month, plus 3 action steps. And they're important, so listen up. The first theme is disorientation transformation, which we kind of touched on. At the moment, we have something major, an unprecedented thing going on. 3 large systems, geopolitics, consumerism, spirituality, are all trying to shift into a different phase, trying to shift into a different energy. And this hasn't happened for thousands of years. Now, I've got a video all about this, which I'll link up above. Now, you can't have missed seeing what's going on with this kind of massive upheaval politically in the world, with lies, dishonesty, and the breakdown of trust, and a questioning of how we want to be governed. At the same time, we're seeing some massive spiritual awakening and some questions around our sustainability and the consumerism and the very survival of the planet. And for you, those same patterns might be showing up as you question how you manage yourself, how you govern yourself, how you treat yourself, and a sense that you perhaps need to find a new way of being, to reinvent yourself, to do something different, or to find just perhaps a more filling, happier place in life. And if you're not asking those questions and you're ignoring your calling, then I'm sorry to say that you're probably going to be slapped to wake you up, because that's what's going on at the moment. But let's help you with this. First of all, you're absolutely not alone with this. Many, many people are feeling really disorientated, lost, and confused. At the same time, we can also hold a sense of hope, of excitement, of optimism for the future. That's as long as you don't get sucked into the news. Now, the most important thing for you at the moment is to be clear about what you want and what matters to you. Now, don't be too hung up about how that will happen. That will come later. What if you don't know what you want? So let me help you, because you've already been helped with this. You've been given lots of experiences in the last few years, and some of those have told you exactly what you don't want. So use that, flip it around and say, okay, this is what I do want. Now, you don't have to get this right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just claim it and say, this is what I want. At the same time, you've kind of got to, I don't know, kind of let go of your past and to celebrate it, even if it didn't feel perfect for you or some part of you thinks you could have done better. Celebrate your past, let go, and kind of move on. Now, I appreciate that for many, many people, to let go of your past is not an easy ask. We have been traumatized. It might be difficult. I don't know your experience. So for me to say, celebrate and let go of your past, I appreciate that is not always going to be easy. But that is, in a way, what the energy is trying to get us to try and do. And that kind of leads us to the second theme for this month, which is trust and the pursuit of power. Now, in the outside world, we're seeing those in power desperately trying to hold on to it. They just don't want the systems and the structures to change because they're going to be worse off. And along with that, we're seeing people that are struggling with the sense that their old ways, I don't know, being taken away from them. And so they're fighting to hold on and defend what they believe to be true. Now, this isn't just the theme for October 2023. It's been kind of going on for years, but we're reaching a peak, a climax. And to a certain extent, this month we're in gives us a hint of the good, the bad, and the ugly of 2024. Overall, 2024 is a great year, but you might see some issues around power and control. Now, if you want to keep on top of the energy waves, now's a great time to like and subscribe. Okay, let's look at trust and the pursuit of power for you. This month and going forward, we'll bring up questions for you around your power. It could be that you're trying to reinvent yourself and having to fend off people who kind of want you to stay the same. They don't recognize or acknowledge that you change, you've grown, and you're different, and they want to hold you in your past. Now, in my book, The Art of Kind and Flowing Relationships, I guide you through how to have difficult conversations and how to recognize what their fears are and their needs. And I'll do a link below this video. As well, I'll do a link for the vitality test, which is a phenomenal way for you to understand your superpowers and what makes you tick. So I'd recommend that you take that, and it is completely and utterly free. Now, back to trust and the pursuit of power. Another aspect that might be coming up for you this month is, what's your value to others or your value to the world? What are your superpowers? What's really wonderful and special about you? And how do I put those out in the world? A calling is happening. Now, depending on when you're watching this, there may be time to join the free 5-day superpowers experience or heroic actions in your energetic superpowers. And I'll put links below this video. They help you clearly identify your superpowers and also how you might want to put them out in the world, because this is your time. Because we're in a water energy year, a water rabbit year, there may also be things coming up for you this month around purpose. It's coming up for you, it's coming up for all of us, as well as the other water energy considerations around safety, survival, security, etc. Now, another thing that might be coming up for you is trust. Not just can I trust others, but can I trust myself once I know my superpowers to deliver on that promise? And we'll have all sorts of doubting voices and insecurities coming up. And that's part of the pursuit of power. Which will win, your old or your new identity? Which neatly leads us to the third theme for this month: identity shifts and plot twists. As I said at the start of 2023, we'd have lots of plot twists this year. To understand what I mean by that, think about a plot twist in a book or a movie. They're there to, I don't know, wake you up, to get you to see something different, to keep you engaged. They're ultimately there to help you. And they can happen very quickly. And again, they can temporarily disorientate you. They change you. So they're adding to the disorientation. Now, throughout this year, we've been having plot twists in the outer world and possibly in your inner world too. And one of the things about plot twists for us is that they change us, and they can lead to a clash between your new and your old identity. Say you suddenly get given something, or a project that you've been working on for ages suddenly takes off, and it takes off really quickly. And suddenly your old identity was trying to struggle and adjust to the new way of being, the result of this plot twist. And as we say in the 5-week quest, heroic actions in your energetic superpowers, identities don't like to die. So you may be that you're given what you want or an opportunity to create it, but somehow you just can't accept it, or you start to do it and then you sabotage. And that's because your old identity doesn't want to die. So be aware, in October, we're going to be dealing with whether or not you can step into your new identity or not. Okay, let's move to the action steps. Now, the number one is be heroic and step into your world. We're moving into an era of heroes where good people stand up and do good things. So that's what you need to do. Now, this is important. And again, we share this in heroic actions in your energetic superpowers. Being heroic doesn't involve danger or sacrifice or having to go to some dark place and dark night of the soul where you have to go some terrible suffering. Those myths about heroes were created to entertain us around the campfire. If you're suffering, it means you're in the wrong structure or you haven't got the right support or equipment. You can climb a mountain as a heroic act, but it'd be pretty stupid if it was outside your capacity or with no support or in a pair of sneakers. So this is a time to be heroic, but not suffer. That's not what this is about. Okay, your action step 2, which is boundaries, boundaries, and more boundaries. Now, one of the things we need to do when we're being heroic is to have a good reserve of energy. If you're tired or exhausted, then it's really, really hard to be brave or courageous. Think about little kids. When they're tired, even the smallest task seems completely overwhelming. So what's that got to do with boundaries? Well, the quickest way to lose your time, your energy, or anything for that matter, is to have no boundaries. I mean, anybody can take anything they want. Plus, if you're going to have to defend your new identity from the people who don't want the old version of you to die, then developing good boundaries is an ideal thing to do. Developing good boundaries control will also help you keep out the distractions and the opinionated fighting that's going on in the news and the social media. This is a time to go high and keep out of that stuff. And in order to do that, you've got to put good boundaries in place. As I said, we need good people doing good things. And that doesn't involve you scrabbling around in the mud with people who just can't cope with change. And that leads to our third action step, to build a foundation and a family. As I shared in the September energy waves, we need to be building a solid foundation for our future success and growth. And I shared about the giant bamboo and how it appears to do absolutely nothing for year after year. And then suddenly, woof, it shoots up and grows by over 1 meter a day. So what was the bamboo doing when it was appeared to be doing nothing? Well, it was growing a root system, a solid foundation to support its growth. And that's exactly what you need to do now. Now, the easiest way to do that is to think of, how would your new identity live? What would your new identity eat? How would they conduct themselves? What would their daily rituals be? You need to step into the habits and the rhythm and routine of that identity you want to become, and that will build a solid foundation for your future. Now, also, what you need to have is a fan club cheering on your heroic actions. You need a tribe or a family to support you, and support you unconditionally without judgment, because we need to be able to try and fail and then finally get to there. This is your time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Nicholas Haines. See you next month. Bye for now.